Marcus grabbed a huge fistful of cash and hurled it out the door like a madman. Before the bills even hit the ground, every single one turned to ash. He rushed back inside, picked up Van Gogh's self-portrait, and held it halfway out the door. A few seconds later, the half that was exposed crumbled into dust. 3 days earlier, Marcus had just bought this mansion. He and his wife Anna had barely moved in when they discovered a hidden door behind one of the walls. They couldn't wait to open the iron door, but the room inside was completely empty. The moment Anna stepped into the room, the lights started flickering like crazy. Marcus figured it was just a wiring issue and turned to call the power company. As soon as Anna left the room, the lights went right back to normal. A repairman showed up quickly, but one look at the tangled mess of wires inside the walls left him speechless. He shook his head and said there was nothing he could do. On his way out, he warned Marcus to be careful. This mansion had been abandoned for years. The previous owners, a married couple, had both died horribly inside. Marcus was furious and cursed out the real estate agent. No wonder the price had been absurdly low. He went online and dug up the details of the old case. The previous owners had been murdered. The killer was caught at the scene, but couldn't even explain who he was. The police ultimately ruled him mentally ill and locked him away in a psychiatric facility. Marcus realized he was living in a death house, but he couldn't bring himself to tell Anna. Anna had defied her family to elope with him. Marcus was just a struggling painter whose entire savings could only afford a place like this. Feeling down, Marcus retreated to the mysterious room to drink alone. He finished a bottle in no time and muttered a casual complaint.
God, I need another bottle.
When the lights flickered back on, a brand new bottle of wine had appeared right in front of him. The next day, Anna noticed the lights flickering again. The room was now packed with world-famous masterpieces. Van Gogh's self-portrait, Cézanne's apples, the Mona Lisa. Marcus excitedly told her they were all originals. Anna thought he'd lost his mind, so Marcus gave her a live demonstration. He told Anna to name anything she wanted.
I want $1,000.
First, he conjured up $1,000, then $10,000. The moment Anna finished speaking, $1 million appeared on the floor. She was so terrified she turned to run, but Marcus stopped her. This room might be strange, but it could be a gift from above. They should make the most of it. After Marcus talked her into it, Anna finally let her guard down. Overnight, they became filthy rich and started partying non-stop. Whatever they wanted, all they had to do was say it in that room. They splurged without limits, living it up like there was no tomorrow. But they didn't realize that greed always comes with a price. After living the high life for a while, they both started feeling empty inside. Anna grew more and more unhappy, and nothing Marcus did could cheer her up until he thought of the one thing Anna had always longed for but never been able to have. The next morning, Anna opened her eyes and saw a baby crib right in front of her, but instead of joy, she tensed up. They'd been married for 5 years and still had no children. Doctors said there was nothing wrong with her, but 2 pregnancies had both ended in miscarriage. Anna couldn't bear that kind of pain again and firmly refused to try. Marcus couldn't change her mind, so he left the room frustrated. Anna sat alone, gently running her hand over the crib, lost in sadness. Then a terrifying thought suddenly crossed her mind. The lights began to flicker. When Marcus came back, a baby was lying on the bed. Marcus instantly flew into a rage. He couldn't accept that his own child had to be wished into existence. The two of them had a massive fight. After Marcus pleaded with her, Anna reluctantly agreed to give the baby away. She carried the child into the room, but couldn't bring herself to say the wish out loud. Marcus took the baby, clenched his jaw for what felt like forever, but couldn't bring himself to say it either. He shoved the baby back into Anna's arms and stormed out in anger, and just like that, the two of them became parents. Marcus would get up in the middle of the night to wish for baby bottles. Anna's maternal instincts kicked in full force, and she watched over the child day and night. Marcus looked at all of this with a growing sense of unease. He dug up the old murder case files again. After being arrested, the killer had said one thing: "The wish room made me do it." Marcus immediately grabbed a handful of cash, stuffed it in his pocket, and drove straight to the psychiatric facility. The staff were shocked to see him. In 45 years, he was the first person to ever visit the patient. When the killer saw Marcus, he said just one thing: "You'll never leave." Nobody can walk away from that kind of endless wealth. Marcus left feeling heavy-hearted. When he stopped for gas along the way, he pulled out some cash, only to find it had all turned to ash. It finally hit him. Everything wished into existence vanishes the moment it leaves the room. The fortune they had didn't actually exist in the real world. Marcus raced back home and tore the room apart. After smashing through the walls, he found a dense web of black wires wrapped wrapped around the entire room. And it wasn't just this room. The other rooms and even the floors were packed with wires too. He found a blueprint on the wall, but couldn't make any sense of it. Just then, Anna walked toward the door with the baby in her arms. Marcus tried to stop her, but couldn't find the words fast enough. Anna didn't listen to him and walked right out. Marcus didn't stop her. Maybe this was a chance for the child to simply disappear. He stood in the doorway, anxiously waiting to see what would happen. The second Anna stepped outside, the baby burst into tears. The baby's skin instantly began to age, and the shoes on its feet started decaying before their eyes. Hearing Anna's desperate screams for help, Marcus couldn't hold back any longer and charged out the door. By the time he carried the baby back into the room, the shoes had completely turned to ash. They looked down at the child and were frozen in horror. In just a few minutes, the baby had grown into a young boy. Marcus finally understood the truth. Anything created by a wish ages tens of thousands of times faster the moment it leaves the room until it turns to dust. He told Anna everything, but Anna couldn't let go of this child who had already grown up. Days turned into weeks. How to keep the child inside the room forever became Anna's biggest obsession. All she could do was keep lying to the boy, telling him the outside world was full of deadly germs and only the room was safe. But the more she said that, the more curious he became about the world outside. Leaving the room gradually became the boy's fixation. Every chance he got, he'd make a break for the door. Luckily, Anna caught him every time. Eventually, Anna made up her mind and nailed wooden boards over every door and window. Marcus couldn't talk her out of it, so he went along, but his worry kept growing deeper. He even secretly ordered a gun online and went up to the hills every day to practice shooting, though even he wasn't sure if it would ever do any good. As the days went on, the couple fought more and more over the child. What they completely failed to notice was that their son had been eavesdropping on the secret of the wish room. The next morning, when Marcus woke up, a perfectly intact snow globe immediately caught his eye. The boy's snow globe had clearly been broken yesterday. So where did this new one come from? He went to find Anna right away. Anna looked just as confused. Right then, the lights in the room started flickering wildly. Their hearts sank. They sprinted to the wish room. Sure enough, the boy had transformed the room into a dense, lush forest. He was happily building a snowman, having the time of his life. Anna couldn't help but feel moved. They'd been so focused on using the room to create wealth that it never once occurred to them they could use it to create pure joy. But just as she was taking it all in, Marcus suddenly realized they were in terrible danger. He rushed over, scooped up the child, and ran outside. Once they were back in the safe zone, he sternly warned the boy to never set foot in the wishing room again. But Anna thought Marcus was overreacting. The kid was just being curious. He didn't hurt anyone. Marcus lost it. He told Anna that next time the boy might get mad over not being allowed to watch TV and just wish for them to disappear. And once that happens, there's no taking it back. They had to eliminate that risk right now. Just then, the phone in the house suddenly rang. The boy casually picked it up. On the other end was the killer. Hearing the child's innocent voice, the killer cracked a cold, sinister smile. Everything was going exactly according to his plan. Marcus grabbed the phone and demanded to know how to stop things from the room from aging once they leave. The killer let out a chilling laugh. There's only one way. The person who wished the thing into existence has to die. In other words, since Anna was the one who wished the boy into existence, only Anna's death would let the boy live a normal life. It all clicked for Marcus in an instant. The killer was the previous landlord's wished into existence creation. Back then, his mother killed her husband and then forced her son to kill her, all so he could survive. That's why the police could never find any record of his identity. Now it was Marcus's turn to choose. Kill Anna to save the boy, or kill the boy to save Anna. Meanwhile, in another room, Anna had already heard the entire conversation through the extension phone. With the roar of a car engine, Anna drove away from the mansion. She had thought about killing herself to give the boy a chance at life, but she could never go through with it. After Anna left, Marcus finally broke down under the boy's relentless questions and told him the whole truth. He told the boy, "You're just something that was wished into existence. If you leave that room, you'll age instantly and turn to dust." When the boy still didn't believe him, Marcus dragged him to the doorway to prove it. The boy completely fell apart and burst into tears. After calming down, Marcus realized how cruel that was. After all, this was the adult's mistake, not the boy's. He apologized to the child and decided to stay and be there for him. When Anna came home with a calmer mind, she saw father and son asleep together and felt a wave of warmth. Maybe they really could go on living like this. Over the next few days, the couple set aside their worries and made up with each other, but what they didn't notice was that the boy had been secretly watching their every move. Then one night, while his parents were fast asleep, he stole the key to the wishing room. Marcus was jolted awake by the sound of a door opening. The couple rushed downstairs and saw the front door wide open. They knew something was terribly wrong. By the time they found the boy, he had already stepped outside the room and rapidly aged into a grown man. He had left the room on purpose to speed up his growth, all so he could take Anna for himself. Anna tried to calm him down, but Marcus realized things had spiraled completely out of control and tackled him. When Anna came to, only Marcus was by her side. She asked about the boy. Marcus told her that during the struggle for the gun, done, he had shot and killed him. He moved the body outside, where it had already turned to ash. Anna ran outside, desperately searching, but there was nothing left. She knew this was probably the best outcome, but she had already poured too much love into that child. Marcus quietly comforted her and carried her back inside. It seemed like everything was finally over, but then Marcus woke up from unconsciousness on the floor and found himself completely alone. Anna was gone. He searched frantically inside and outside the room. When he reached the second floor, the lights began to flicker again. He understood everything in an instant. The iron door had been locked tight, and the key was nowhere to be found. So he grabbed some tools and started hammering through the wall. On the other side, Marcus suggested to Anna that they stay here forever. What shocked her was that Marcus, who had always wanted to leave, was now refusing to go. Anna also noticed that Marcus had completely different eating habits and preferences than before. She immediately became suspicious. When she saw Marcus playing childish games, she knew for certain that this person was not her husband. Once the boy realized he'd been found out, he dropped the act and begged Anna to stay with him. Anna broke free in horror and searched everywhere for the real Marcus. By then, the real Marcus had broken through the wall, crawled through a mess of wires, and made it into the wishing room. He found himself in the fake world the boy had created. Following the footprints on the ground, he eventually found deep in the forest an identical copy of the mansion. The boy had duplicated the entire world and transformed himself to look like Marcus. Marcus smashed through a window to get in. Anna was also desperately looking for him. The moment the boy heard someone call his name and turned around, Anna knew for sure.
Kate! No, Kate, don't listen to him. It's the room. Come with me. No, don't listen to him. Kate, it's me. No, Kate, come with me, come on. Jumba. It's me. Jumba. Come on, let's go.
Shane!
She shoved him down the stairs with all her strength. The two of them tried to escape, but no matter which way they ran, they couldn't break out of this looping space. After several minutes of lights flickering wildly, the boy caught up to them. Without hesitation, he drove a knife straight through Marcus's chest. Marcus struggled for a moment and collapsed, but when the boy turned around, he saw Anna standing perfectly still. He instantly realized he'd been tricked again. This was Marcus's master move. He had used the wishing room to create a decoy version of himself to draw the attack. The real Marcus grabbed Anna and they sprinted all the way back to the real mansion. The boy was right on their heels. Just as they were about to open the door to the outside, he blocked their path one last time.
Mommy!
Looking into Anna's unwavering eyes, the boy finally let go of his last shred of hope. He turned and walked toward the outside world he had always longed for. His body aged at an incredible speed, and as Anna watched with heartbreak, he crumbled into a pile of ash at last. The couple decided to put an end to this nightmare for good. A month later, they moved out of the mansion and went back to their normal lives. At a motel, Marcus cheerfully came back with coffee, only to find Anna sitting frozen behind the door, refusing to open it no matter how much he called. In her hand, she was clutching a pregnancy test. It clearly showed positive. As the bedside lamp suddenly flickered violently, the movie cuts to black on Anna's face, frozen in sheer terror. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and follow me. See you next time.